You feel it when conversations pause after you speak. You notice it when your name appears in places you never stepped into. There has never been anyone like you, not before and not now. You were not designed to be repeated or diluted, and that reality sits heavy on certain minds. They feel it even if they cannot describe it. Something about you disrupts the balance they were comfortable with, and once that balance breaks, it never returns to the same shape. From the moment you chose to think differently, the atmosphere shifted. No. This did not begin yesterday. This started when you stopped asking for permission to exist as yourself. Eyes began following you, not openly, but carefully. Some watched out of curiosity, others out of insecurity, and a few because your presence highlights everything they avoid facing within themselves. You do not need to raise your voice. You do not need to prove anything. Your calm confidence already does the work, and that quiet strength makes weak intentions restless. Somewhere right now, someone is replaying your actions in their head. They are dissecting your tone, your timing, your restraint. They claim they are unaffected, yet your name keeps returning to their thoughts like an unanswered question. You do not chase attention, but attention finds you anyway. That kind of energy does not come from performance. It comes from authenticity. And when people realize they cannot imitate your mindset, comparison turns into discomfort. That is when the sweating begins. Not from fear, but from awareness. You are not imagining the tension around you. This is what happens when growth becomes visible. Progress creates friction, even when you move in silence. Your consistency forces reflection, and reflection is uncomfortable for those avoiding self-accountability. You never accuse them, yet they feel exposed. You never challenge them, yet they feel challenged. That is why the whispers grow louder behind closed doors. It is not because you failed, it is because you did not. This is not arrogance. This is clarity. You understand who you are and who you are not. You walk with intention instead of impulse. You speak when necessary and remain silent when silence is power. That balance unsettles people who depend on external approval. They look for reactions, but you offer composure. They seek chaos, but you move with precision. And that contrast presses on their nerves without you ever touching them. Understand this clearly. Being talked about was never the mission, but it is a signal. It means your presence has weight, even when you are not trying to be seen. You became a reference point simply by staying aligned with yourself. That level of influence cannot be forced or borrowed. When people realize they cannot control you, they attempt to define you. They label, assume, and project, hoping it will make them feel taller. It does not. Let this truth settle without resistance. You are not surrounded by enemies. You are surrounded by observers. Some admire quietly, some criticize inwardly, some compete with a version of you that only exists in their mind. There has never been anyone like you, and that fact alone changes the air when you enter a space. This is where it begins. This is the pressure before the rise. Now that you see it, you cannot unsee it. The energy around you feels tighter, heavier. People react before you even speak. They anticipate your moves like something important is about to happen, even if they do not know what. That is the weight of presence. You are no longer just existing. You are influencing the environment simply by being consistent. And consistency is terrifying to people who live in cycles of excuses. Notice how reactions change when you enter a space. Conversations adjust. Body language stiffens or suddenly becomes performative. Some grow unusually quiet. Others talk too much. No, no, no. That is not coincidence. That is adaptation. They are recalibrating around you because your standards expose their comfort zones. You do not demand respect, yet respect becomes unavoidable. And for those who survive by pretending, that feels like pressure closing in. There are people rooting for you, without ever saying it. Quiet supporters who study how you move, how you endure, how you remain composed when things get uncomfortable. And then there are the others. The ones who smile too slowly. The ones who observe a little too carefully. They are not angry at you personally. They are frustrated with the reminder you represent. You show them what discipline looks like. You show them what focus produces. And deep down, they know they chose comfort instead. You must understand something important here. Not everyone who doubts you wants you to fail. Some simply fear what your success says about their own delays. When you rise, it rewrites the rules they told themselves were fixed. It proves that effort compounds, that patience works, that direction matters. And once that truth enters their mind, it does not leave easily. It sits there, applying pressure every time they avoid responsibility. Do not let this harden you into bitterness. Awareness is not meant to make you cold. It is meant to make you precise. You are learning who deserves access to your energy and who only deserves distance. You do not need to confront. You do not need to explain. Silence, when chosen intentionally, becomes a statement louder than argument. The more grounded you become, the clearer everything looks. You may feel moments of isolation now. Moments where the room feels crowded, yet you stand alone. That is a sign of transition. You are outgrowing certain frequencies, certain conversations, certain expectations. This stage is uncomfortable because it demands restraint. You could react, but you choose discipline. You could prove a point, but you choose patience. That choice separates builders from spectators. Your haters feel this shift before you do. They sense momentum forming. Even when results are still loading, they become restless because time is passing and you are not slowing down. Every day you stay focused feels like a quiet warning to them, not spoken, not announced, just implied. You are becoming harder to ignore and impossible to dismiss. And here is the part they never expect. You are not doing this to compete. You are not moving out of spite. You are simply committed to your path. That is what confuses them most. They prepared for conflict, but you brought clarity. They hoped for chaos, but you brought structure. That kind of discipline does not argue. It advances. So keep going. Even when the silence grows louder, even when the looks linger longer, even when you feel misunderstood. This phase is not punishment. It is preparation. Pressure reveals structure. And right now, everything around you is revealing itself. Who supports? Who watches? Who doubts? Who hopes you slow down? This is where your steps change. Not louder, not faster, sharper. You stop explaining yourself, because results do not need translators. People start noticing patterns. Your discipline, your restraint, your refusal to react emotionally. That silence you carry is not emptiness. It is control, and control is unsettling to those who survive on impulse. They keep waiting for you to slip, to overreact, to reveal doubt. You do not. You move forward, like you already decided the outcome. Watch how the pressure flips sides. The same people who once observed comfortably now feel rushed internally. Time feels different to them. Every day you stay focused reminds them of days they wasted. No, no, no. They cannot slow you down because you are not racing them. You are moving according to your own pace, and that is what breaks their rhythm. You are proof that patience paired with effort creates momentum that cannot be borrowed. You begin to see clearly who belongs near you and who only wanted proximity for comparison. Some will suddenly imitate your habits, your words, your posture. Others will quietly distance themselves. Both reactions mean the same thing. You affected the environment. Influence does not always look like praise. Sometimes it looks like imitation. Sometimes it looks like avoidance. Either way, it confirms that your presence carries weight. This is the stage where discipline replaces motivation. You no longer need emotional fuel to act. You function on commitment. You do the work even when nobody is watching, especially then. That is when growth becomes permanent. When effort is no longer a performance but a routine. People underestimate this phase because it is quiet. But quiet progress compounds quickly. And once it shows, it shocks everyone who assumed nothing was happening. Do not announce your plans. Do not hint at your next move. Mystery protects momentum. The less they know, the less they interfere. Let them guess. Let them assume. You are not hiding. You are conserving energy. Attention can drain focus if you allow it. You stay grounded, centered, and deliberate, while others waste time reacting to noise. You will notice something powerful now. The criticism softens. The stares become longer. The conversations change tone. Some will suddenly respect you. Others will pretend they always did. That is the sound of reality settling in. They realize you are not temporary. You are not a phase. You are consistent, and consistency forces acceptance. This is not the finish. This is alignment. Your actions now match your identity. You no longer seek confirmation because you trust your direction. That confidence is earned, not borrowed, and it radiates without effort. People feel it when you speak, when you walk away, when you choose not to engage. Stay here mentally. Calm, focused, precise. The pressure that once surrounded you is now behind you, pushing instead of blocking. There has never been anyone like you, and now the world is adjusting to that truth. This is where things become obvious without you announcing anything. The same energy that once questioned you now studies you with caution. Your consistency has removed all doubt, not because you argued your worth, but because you lived it daily. The room feels different now. People listen longer. They interrupt less. They feel your presence before you say a word. You did not change for approval. Approval adjusted itself around you. Notice how opinions soften. Those who once minimized you now speak carefully. They choose words slower. No. This is not respect given freely. This is respect earned through time, patience, and self-control. You stayed grounded while others reacted emotionally. You stayed disciplined while others chased shortcuts. And slowly the narrative shifted without your involvement. Some will approach you differently now, with curiosity instead of doubt, with caution instead of dismissal. Others will act like they supported you all along. Let them. You are not here to correct history. You are here to build a future. The past does not need defending when the present speaks clearly for itself. You may feel a strange calm at this stage. Not excitement, not relief, just clarity. That is maturity settling in. You no longer crave validation because you understand the cost of distraction. You know exactly what you are capable of, and you know how much further you intend to go. External noise fades when internal direction is strong. Do not slow down now. Comfort is subtle, and it tries to convince you that you have arrived. You have not. This is simply the point where resistance weakens. The path ahead opens wider because you earned the right to walk it without interference. Stay disciplined, stay observant, stay intentional. Your haters feel it clearly now. Not anger, not jealousy, acceptance. They realize you are not going away. You are not breaking. You are not bending. And that realization settles deeply. You became a standard simply by refusing to compromise your principles. Let this moment ground you, not inflate you. You are not above anyone. You are simply aligned with yourself. And that alignment creates momentum that does not need approval. There has never been anyone like you, and now even the doubters feel it. The final part is where this turns permanent. This is where it settles. Not loudly, not dramatically, permanently. You no longer feel the need to check who is watching because your direction is fixed. The doubts that once hovered around you have lost their grip. Not because everyone believes in you now, but because you believe in yourself without hesitation. That certainty changes posture. It sharpens decisions. It turns movement into meaning. You operate differently here. Calm under pressure. Focused when things get quiet. No. You are not chasing momentum anymore. You are maintaining it. That is a different skill entirely. Anyone can start strong. Very few can stay steady. You have learned how to move without burning out, how to advance without broadcasting. That balance separates temporary attention from lasting respect. People treat you carefully now. They measure their words. They reconsider assumptions. Some still dislike you, but even they acknowledge something has changed. You became reliable in your discipline, predictable in your growth, and that is powerful. When your actions align long enough, even resistance adapts. You no longer trigger reactions. You set standards. This is where your inner circle becomes smaller but stronger. You value alignment over approval. You choose depth over noise. You understand that not everyone deserves access to your mindset. Some people only wanted proximity to feel important. Others wanted comparison to feel better about delay. You move forward without resentment because clarity removes the need for bitterness. Do not confuse this calm with settling. You are still evolving, still refining, still sharpening edges others do not even see yet. The difference now is control. You decide when to push and when to pause. You no longer confuse motion with progress. Every step is deliberate, every choice intentional. The pressure that once tried to bend you now reinforces you. It shaped discipline. It trained patience. It filtered distractions. What was meant to test you ended up structuring you. And now, even when nobody is watching, you remain consistent. That is the final transformation.